Welcome back to another episode of the Mind of Reese. We are doing this IG Live and on all podcast episodes. So excited to have you here. First and foremost, I want to just get this out of the fucking way. I am calling bullshit on your powerful woman performance. Yes, I call bullshit. I call bullshit on your power. Sure. You're an unfuckwithable badass with solutions so good your clients keep resigning in silence. And yes, you are ready to double, triple, even 10x the people in your spaces. You're scaling from one to many. You've even started showing up louder, saying things you were once afraid to name. But your content still so fucking frustrating. Still so fucking frustrating because while you know your work is potent, only you know that. Only you are the one that knows that. Your message hasn't evolved into something that actually speaks to the masses. It hasn't been sharpened to collapse those buying cycles from months to moments. And it hasn't been refined to reflect the depth that you now live in and the scale you're ready for. And if we're being really fucking honest, it still sounds like you're talking to the version of you from 2 years ago instead of the diamond client, the embodied buyer already standing in your field right now in front of you, waiting for the signal that says, holy fuck, she's the one. You see, me and my 19 motherfucking personalities turned a $33 offer into $60,000 in 22 days without ads and not really a launch plan. Because I have my launches memorized in my mind. Like I have all the tools and tactics that come with a launch, understanding exactly how I like to go about it. But then I also, listen to my body. I listen to the wisdom of my body. So I'm going to break this down into 3 key things that will make you want to immediately DM me million or comment million right now. And walk into the $1 Million Messaging Mini Mind, which is starting this Wednesday, January 7th, because the truth is the content that scales a company is not the same content that gets you booked out for your one-to-ones. If you're still writing content to get more clients, you're thinking like a beginner brand. And that's why your strategy can't scale. So I'm going to break down the real numbers. We're going to let the math, the real energy, and the real psychology behind how I did this, because this wasn't about launching a mini offer. It was about collapsing time, collapsing resistance, and collapsing the space between me and the women already ready to buy. So we're going to go about this step by step. Okay, so part 1, your message hasn't evolved with you. So the challenge, the $33 challenge, the villain challenge, if you were in and you were amazing. This wasn't funnel bait, okay? The villain challenge wasn't funnel bait. I wasn't trying to get cold leads into places. It wasn't designed to warm up a cold audience or hold the hand of a hesitant buyer. It was an invocation, a direct transmission to the woman already in motion, the one who doesn't need more information, but a mirror sharper and a mirror shatterer, when you know, enough to cut through her own performance. She wasn't looking to learn how to post. She was ready to say the things she's never dared say online. Not for shock value. We're not here to be sassy or bitchy just to be a bitch and think that we're going to stop the scroll and have people buy from us. No, because her survival no longer depended on being palatable. Right? So you think your messaging problem is strategic. It could be. That your niche isn't dialed in enough. It could be. That your content isn't specific enough. Definitely. Okay. But it's also a lie you dressed as logic. See, everybody thinks that just because they're aware of these things, that awareness creates change. Awareness does not create change. Awareness is observation. And without observation, without embodiment, you get no change. You're not cooler because you know about your fucking patterns. We all do. We all have the same ones. You're not unique in that. And thank goodness, because now we have people out there who have solutions for this. Okay? The thing is, you've outgrown your message, both from an internal space and from an external space, and it reflects in your external space, and your nervous system hasn't caught up yet. You've been dripping truth in teaspoons. Here's a drip drop. Here's a little drip drop. I'm going to evolve this little much, right? And still asking for permission in slight, subtle, sabotory ways that the good girl creates for you. And she deems them as logic, as oh, this is based on metrics. She's still spiritualizing your doubt. You're still performing your power instead of trusting it. Because when your next level requires full body exposure, there's no more coded posts, no more relatable wound share, no more mimicking what worked before. Your protector flinches. And the sabotage starts sounding really, really fucking smart. You stay vague and scattered and in the process, right? So you can't be attacked. So you don't have to choose. So you don't have to go through the war of shouldn't and shouldn't I? Should I do this? Should I do that? Because claiming your mastery still feels unsafe. But the thing is your audience isn't confused. You're not confused. You don't lack clarity, but because clarity comes with consequences, you have fear around that confrontation. So you stay stuck and you like it because you're a dirty, kinky bitch, and that's okay. Once we acknowledge and own, we can begin the process of integration, which leads to articulation. You intellectualize your problems. You journal about them. You brand it with a cute name and hope it sells, but it doesn't, because the version of you writing your content is still stuck in an identity you've already shed. The villain challenge, that $33 challenge, worked because it didn't chase clarity. It provoked an identity. It called the buyer forward, not with proof, but with precision. And what was the result? One fucking post. I launched the villain challenge sporadically on and off as I was traveling throughout all of December. But one fucking post went uber viral. And it nearly got 100 signups based on mostly all new buyers to my world. So some of these people that joined don't even follow me. They bought in. So a lot of these people, they were like, oh my gosh, I hate challenges, but I'm going to do this one. Why? Because I was speaking directly to exactly what my diamond buyer desired, speaking to a specific micro problem that she has, and gave her a way that she would like to experience that solution and the results. A very unique way, my proprietary work, the villain challenge, my sequence, my frameworks, my methodology, right? There were no ads, no warm-up sequence, no content calendar, just one unfiltered, unflinching fucking signal. One post that said, this was not written for everyone. Go fuck yourself. I only want people here who are really ready to be activated and moved toward change. See, the thing is that for me, especially for me and the women in my world, we love mastery. We love geeking out, nerding out on how we can get better at the things that we are doing. This is about refinement. It's not about learning something new or something that you've never heard before, but it's about hearing it differently. See, that's all you really need to create an identity: rupture, repair, and recognition. These three things need to be happening within your content at all times, every single day. If it's not happening, you are building basic bitch content. Know, like, and trust is built for the personal brand that when you first started. That was when you first started understanding marketing. You were like, okay, I had to get people to know, like, and trust me. No. Not anymore. You are well past that. You have outgrown that. You are so ready to not have to have a 25 sequence warm-up session in order for people to buy from you. You want people to land on your page, that content compound into collapsing buying cycles from months to moments immediately. Okay? So that's what shadow-driven messaging does. It doesn't perform for applause. It pierces. It doesn't warm up the room. It summons the ones who are already ready to move. This demands resonance. And so we had, almost 200 signups for the $33 offer. And because shadow-driven messaging doesn't beg for trust, right? It demands resonance. So let me break this down. So basic bitch marketing, as I was saying, is built on know, like, and trust. It's about proving you're human enough to sell. It's about pretty much being like, hey, I'm a step above. I'm okay with being cringe. I'm here and I'm okay with being cringe at this level. This is where you are when you're at the basic bitch marketing level. It's like, I'm okay with being cringe. Not this much cringe, but this level of cringe right here. Like, I'm good with this. I can put myself out there. I'm visible. I'm able to post every day. I'm able to say the thing I know that we need to say in order for people to come into my world and start to get to know me, right? Like, this is, you post for visibility, for likability, for approval, to be welcomed into spaces you were already born to own, and you soften your edges and you sweeten your shadows. You don't even really like speak directly to your diamond client because you're so unwilling to see it within yourself. Like, you're like, I see it within myself. I intellectualize this, but you don't want to actually take the time to process it deeper. That's true mastery. And I know that's what you want. But somewhere along the way, you were like, well, if I just do this, this will go away. See, shadow messaging, it bypasses the logic and speaks straight to the identity rupture. It doesn't go viral because it's trendy. It converts because it's fucking real and it's fucking true. Because what? You've already been there. You've already faced the demons. And now you are like, wow, I had no idea. And you dig and you dig and you're like, wow, this is amazing. Look at all of the things that I've transformed into gold. Look at all the things that I've transformed, alchemized this into sold out offers, an offer suite, an entire business. Because it doesn't seduce the logical mind. It ruptures the identity. It says, I've flinched and I kept speaking. I've disappeared and I still been felt. I've sold through shame and rage and chaos and never once needed to be liked, to be trusted. I'm still here. I'm still selling, still safe because I no longer ask for permission to fucking exist. Now, see, I like to call this the internal invisible sales system, because the invisible sales system within you creates influence and power. Then you have the external invisible system on what it is that you are creating within every single post, right? There's strategic structure to create these types of posts, but the way you're posting them, who you be as you post them, who you are, how you make yourself feel, is how you make others feel. That's really where your frequency becomes capacity. And that right there, my friend, is the most potent power and influence that a body, a person can have. That part of you that can hold complexity without crumbling. The part of you that can name what your diamond client, what your embodied buyer still hides in the dark. That part of you that no longer dilutes your power to fit a fucking feed. Like, the thing is you can't sell what you secretly still disown. You can't magnetize the woman you're meant to lead if you're still performing for the version of you who needed permission to be powerful 2 years ago. So if your content is still whispering, please like me, instead of you've been looking for me, then you're not in your leadership. See, the thing is that shadow-driven messaging doesn't ask, do they like me? It asks, do they feel me? And no, I'm the only one who could have written that for them. That's the difference. There's the edge there. And that's why this messaging, it moves money before you ever have to create a CTA. Now, let's let like the math here for a second through the lens of shadow to sales psychology, okay? Because the real win wasn't almost 200 signups. It was what happened after. What they walked into, the structure, the strategy of the offers meant for this specific diamond buyer. So you think about it, you have the main goal, you have a main goal. Where are we leading people? We lead them into a one-to-many experience, a one-to-many conversion experience, like a 22-day challenge, or maybe a masterclass or whatever it is. And you're leading them somewhere to a higher ticket space, closer proximity space. Let's say you're doing it toward a mastermind. That's what I was doing. I was like, the goal is to get them into the mastermind. However, we're hoping what? However many people come into a mastermind, but out of 200 people, yes, is this mastermind scalable for 200? Yes. But do all 200 people want that? No. So I make offers for the same buyer at different ways to experience it, because we call this the different buyer archetype. What does this person desire? First off, what is the specific micro problem that I solve the solution and the experience that she wants, right? What is the experience she wants to get to that solution? It might be a year-long mastermind. It might be a month-long mini-mind. It might be just an upgrade VIP to one-to-one. All of these things are available. So this is what I did. Okay, so what they walk into, how I held them, and how the entire offer ecosystem, what I call the instant ROI offer suite, was engineered for inevitability. See, most people launch and hope they nurture into the next thing, but that's leaky leadership. Shadow-informed strategy isn't about pushing, it's about placement. Every sign-up had a home. Whether she chose to stay in my 111-month membership or realized within 24 hours that she wanted more proximity, more power, or more precision, on day one, I dropped a VIP upgrade. Not a bonus, not a discount, an invitation into deeper calibration. This was private audits, access, eyes on her content, not just the value, but velocity. From there, I opened back-end offers, a $2,000 mini mind, which is my $1 million messaging mini mind, which is starting on January 7th, which is on Wednesday, because you definitely want in on this. This is for fast strategic momentum. And then I had my mastermind, which is over $10,000, right? So this one was for long game identity expansion. Same buyer, different timelines, not multiple avatars, not different people at different levels in their business, just one sophisticated fucking woman choosing her own pace of evolution. Because I didn't build offers based on what I could sell. I built offers based on how she wanted to experience her becoming. That's the part most creators miss. That's the part most entrepreneurs miss. They design for conversion. I design for completion. When every offer is constructed for a very specific identity with a very specific set of internal drivers, what you get isn't just sales, you get scale without splintering your soul. I am selling different offers, but I'm not selling different solutions. I'm just selling different proximity, same transformation in the way that she desires to play the game, at whatever capacity she can play that game. So what ended up happening is that we had over 100 people stay inside of my membership, $111 membership. That's 100 new people in. 2 people upgrade to my mastermind, my year-long, and 2 people upgrade into my mini-mind. And then 1 person upgrade into a year-long one-to-one with me, which is my highest ticket offer, over $30,000. So that's the power of shadow-informed offer design. Not how do I sell more? How do I anchor her in a space where her own next level becomes undeniable? That's what happened here. This wasn't me like trying to bro funnel her in to here's like the beginner and then intermediate and then expert level. No, expert at the top. What game do you want to play? You want to play this game with this avatar, with this, da 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 da. It's like it's the same solution, same ending, same result. Different ways to play the game, right? Different ways, different levels of proximity, different experiences, unique experience that get them to the solution, the desired result that they desire, that they want. And here's the key. I wasn't trying to convert the cold leads, right? Like that's the whole point, is that like oftentimes we're trying to convert these like cold leads. So like, it's like I built the offer for women who are already sold. They are already sold on themselves. So even if they are cold to my world, they're ready to buy. They just needed a place to go, right? What happens is that a lot of women end up trying to write very vaguely and blame the vagueness for not understanding a deeper understanding about their client, when really the vagueness is really the thing that's happening in here. They're vague because they're unwilling to actually integrate and process what's happening within their body and instead call it stuck. Or instead, oh, where can I find more strategy? You're so focused on the strategy that you actually forget that all of the information that you need, because you've already built a banging business, is already within you. It's just deepening, refining, mastering. So you're not confused or you're not behind. You're simply like one unedited post, one unfiltered truth, one nervous system back decision away from everything you've been calling in. There's no need here to start over. You just need to say what you already know in the voice you've been suppressing. You're so much closer than you think. But let's collapse the rest of the timeline inside of the mini mind. So go to the link in my bio and get in the fucking room. We start on Wednesday. It's a month long. 4 potent calls with me. Telegram back pocket support. My eyes on your messaging. Your content, your business won't look the same by February. I fucking guarantee it. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.